All right, what are we doing? He looks like there's almost a grin on his face. Is it
just gonna win it?
And this is a tough matchup in the Ambessa. So we'll see how he does go, but will be an absolute menace later on into the game. A lot of DPS available here for Nongshim with that one locked away. This could have been one of those comps where a tank is locked in towards the top side of the map, but obviously into an Ambessa it doesn't feel fantastic. And right now they have full control of the wave. Hook gonna connect here onto Gumayusi as well as he has to flash out of the way. And once again, Lehens avoids getting stunned by that Winter's Bite concussive blows. And you don't really pay for it either.
Yeah, you get money out of it.
The lane is nowhere near pushed into their turret. Home Guard's going to be helping out there. So Zeka moving in towards 2 people. Not sure about this one here, sir, as he's taken down to 100 health. But Nongshim not gonna push the issue. They'll just take the ghost and get themselves out. As Kanavi here towards the top lane, KINGEN could be in trouble as he is pushed very far up. Zeus now dives on in. Zeus going down relatively low, but the flash from Kanavi will get the return flash out of KINGEN as well. He's in the mist, but Gwen this time is not immune, and that is first blood over to Kanavi once again.
Yeah, I guess he really thought that perhaps that would be enough there with those extra resistances.
Yeah. He's going to be the one that walks over a ward, but Sponge is just blocking off the retreat here. And remember, Gumayusi does not have his flash available. There's the flag and drag, and the flick back onto 2. Scout locks down the kill, and man!
Zeka is going to realm warp.
All right, let's see whether HLE can make the play work themselves, as they will be able to grab a plate, and KINGEN is just dead. No flash, no chance. Zeka able to tank up the turret quite comfortably there. So the answering kill does come on through.
Yeah, and it's the Taliyah that makes the kill happen first this time around. Wasn't stopped on that rotation, but no answer for that realm warp. And Zeus did not have to commit his ultimate there on the top side, and they will also get the dragon in answer on the bottom side. So winning on both sides here.
You got to activate Hex Flash. That's it. Must be the reason.
Why do you pick Hex Flash if you're not going to use it?
Exactly right. Well, Kanavi looking for a bit of an angle here towards Scout. The ghosts have been popped on both sides, but Sponge moves his way over. That is going to mean that Nongshim are going to be A-OK. Kanavi not quite able to find an angle here, as Delight moving towards the mid lane does have that Glacial Fissure up and available.
Double control word. Got to work on that communication as Kanavi.
Lehens finds himself behind enemy lines, but also in a very uncomfortable position. It's a great Cataclysm though, as there's the ulti in from Zeus to spell the end of that Nautilus. Kanavi will go down, but it's already a 1 fight here for HLE as KINGEN trying to do what he can, but it's a double for Zeka.
Scouts with the follow-up damage, but Lehens just takes so much on the opening salvo. As look at this, he goes in, Hex flashes, drops the ultimate onto a Xinjiao. So that's kind of part of the issue here, is you can't really kill Kanavi fast enough, despite the fact that Scout's so quick with the follow-up. KINGEN shows up here as well, but there's just no real range damage. Scout's like, I got no cooldowns. KINGEN just gets kited, and Zeka is just going to have way more damage throughput than the Taliyah at this type of moment. So,
Another fight breaking out. Available, but here's the Cataclysm as Zeus gonna look to go 1v2, finds a public execution as he does put KINGEN into the sky, but he's now looking to try and dash his way out, not exactly finding it here, as there's the flag and dragon, down will go the Ambessa. A well-needed kill here for KINGEN towards that top side of the map. Now actually has a gold lead. Then she really is kind of a dead weight. And so, feeling better about that one. I think understanding where they need to be putting their attention is, speaking of attention, HLE throws theirs towards the bottom side of the map as now Lehens in a lot of trouble and will just be popped like a balloon. Down goes the Big Daddy. It's a second death here for Lehens.
But either way, kind of a bit of an overstep there.
All right, 2v2 here towards the top side of the map as Sponge keeping his presence unknown for as long as he can. KINGEN down to 50%, but there's Kanavi making his way forward. Great knockup as Kanavi is so close to dead. He'll be taken down first, and Zeus, not long for the world either. Zeka is going to show up, and meanwhile here towards the bottom side, it's Gumayusi being knocked up into the sky. Taeun trying to take him down and will be able to get him here as Delight able to assist the kill there towards Lehens, who does fall for the 3rd time, but he'll be saying worth in all chat, especially with that extra plate going over.
Plate going over to Scout. They end up getting the 80 carry in the bottom trade, so it's definitely a trade up. And then here, Sponge plays this super well. KINGEN kind of baiting ready. Like you said, he waits. Sponge waits for the last possible second to actually see how much value can get. Has the Cataclysm here, and there's no way to get out of the needlework as KINGEN is just able to cut through them. And then Lehens is just like, I'm going to tank this. Bit of an awkward spot here for Guma to back. It actually means that Lehens can get the ult off before he starts tanking and then just hold the turret aggro long enough. Taeyun pops his ultimate there, gets charged up, and it's a trade up.
Looks like
I think this is just their
fight for this. Weave as well does come on through, but
it's like Scout's telling his teammates don't contest.
Yeah, this is a very weird situation here as they do take the Rift Herald. So now not a lot more to fight for, but there is the flick back onto Delight. Down to 50% as Kanavi makes his way in, obviously. Flag and drag knocks him towards the sky. His Chains of Corruption, oh, just barely outranged by Lehens there. And HLE will just be able to walk their way out after collecting their prize.
Kanavi is just so terrifying. He could go in at any time.
He could.
And they end up getting the win on that one. Nongshim are going to try to take this dragon in return.
That's another seismic shove connecting here as the door does a lot of work, but just not enough to keep him alive. Kill goes over to Taeyun there at the same time, so that is more money into the hands of the Yunara.
So they get the dragon, they get the kill. We'll lose some plates here in mid, so Zeka's benefactor of that, but really strong turnaround. Him, and he is going to be a real threat in the side lane, more than he is now. Taeyun kind of alone here.
Yeah, there's the flash forward from Delight. Misses the ulti though as Taeyun's able to get himself out of there mostly. Zeka flashes on top of him though to take down the Yunara, but now he's in an awkward spot. Scout now the one in trouble as the blast going to get Zeka to safety as KINGEN looks to make his way in. Needlework to start it off, and down goes the Rise as Gumayusi now having to deal with KINGEN, and the Needlework from downtown collects this Varus. Now Nongshim with a man advantage, but Sponge looking a little worse for wear as Lehens makes his way forward. KINGEN is 1 versus 3, but I think he likes that one as down goes the Braum, and Kanavi follows. Sponge happy to die here because that is an ace for Nongshim.
I would love to see the damage stats after that fight between Scout and KINGEN, just hitting everybody that's stacked up on top of each other in this one. Initially it looks like, okay, Taeyun getting caught is a big problem, but Delight missing this ultimate actually means that Zeka has to get split off from the rest of the team, which makes him a free target. The Weaver's Wall positioning here actually so good because it means they can basically chunk Zeka down. KINGEN shows up, gets the flank here, and now Kanavi is too deep chasing Lehens, can't peel for the rest of his team. Guma is sniped, and then Kanavi's like, I'm ready to fight, but they lost their carries, so they can't really do anything here. Sponge's flash is good, and then watch Scout and KINGEN just say goodbye health bars. It is nasty. Everyone's all stuck on 1 pixel, and both Scout and KINGEN love what that looks like.
Exactly, man. The snip value kind of insane. As Taeyun, yep, hands off keyboard. He's
like, I got caught.
Yeah, Scout, you can see, moving towards Zeus. It does actually clip him there with the seismic shove down to 50%. KINGEN moving forward. This turret is very dead, but KINGEN may be dead as well. Never mind, going to be flashing to get himself out of the way. The Needlework to try and keep him healthy. Zeus should be going down as well. Finally, he's taken out. As now Taeyun is the target. Kanavi gets on top of him, but it's not quite enough. As now the Realm Warp comes in, but Taeyun is just dancing around the fight. Delight goes down. Lehens is dead as well. Zeka and Gumayusi still up and available as mid laners and AD carries both left standing.
Yeah. Into the end of the enemy team, and it's going to be a call here from the Nongshim about the next dragon fight.
Yep, letting him know exactly what cooldowns are up and available and all that sort of stuff. And checking flashes and things like this.
And then Zeus flashes away here, and then the turret actually does a lot of extra damage, so it survives a little bit longer, but the core issue here is that KINGEN is isolated and Sponge isn't able to get on top and peel for him. He does ultimately get in and zone the damage away from Taeyun, who just has to deal with Kanavi only. And then Lehens here does die, but look at how much damage Taeyun does in this interim, as Guma's just not able to close the gap. Zeka cannot do enough damage, and they're still going to reset here and get the faster take on the dragon, so the end result is the same, despite an even trade of kills there. They take the second dragon, except...
Yeah, KINGEN possibly discovered here as Zeus and Zeka are going to try and hold him in position. Let's see whether KINGEN can get this one done. Remember, he has an arm guard, and Zeka is almost just straight up dead. Public execution comes on through, and KINGEN does go golden. Now the fight on the other side of the rift with the man advantage for Nongshim. They get the double knockups with that ulti out of Lehens, as Scout will show up. They take down Sponge though, and Kanavi taking so much damage. And he will finally fall down. 2 for 1, the trade in favor of HLE. Gumayusi actually doing a lot of damage in that scenario.
That same turn possibility is there without a Weaver's Wall here for Nongshim on this Baron potential take. As already saw the last game tossed away.
Yeah, and Kanavi does have flash, so he can get into that pit. It's going to need to be a turn here for Nongshim as they look for Zeus. Flick back, not going to quite connect there though. And Nongshim now regrouping one more time.
They drop the Baron aggro, they let it reset. I think is the wise call. I don't think Zeka has his actualizer just yet, but he might in this fight. It would be huge if he did.
Oh, KINGEN looking for a wraparound. There's the engage from Lehen's Cataclysm. Through from Sponge. They're looking for Gumayushi, but he gets the relative safe. Never mind. KINGEN gets on top of him, diving in towards that backline and will be able to eviscerate this Varus. And Kanavi falls as well. Zeka not enough that he can do, and the Weaver's Wall is going to come through to take him out. That is going to be another threaded volley. A big old rock to the back of the noggin, and down will go the Rise. And now Nongshim should be able to take this Baron.
It looks like Nongshim is poised to take this series. There's no actualizer in Zeka's inventory. He cannot alone 1v9 this team fight essentially. As Gumayushi, he's got his shield from his Edge of Night, but it's popped instantly, and KINGEN just gets on top of him. And on the bottom side of the fight, Zeka is just really struggling to close the gap here on the back line. Offers a decent amount of damage to Sponge and Lehen's, but now all he can do is kind of phase rush his way out of here. He's trying to do what he can. Zoom in, let me out of here!
As Scout, will he be able to get the shove? He does manage to find it there under the light, but he puts up the door. Not exactly the optimal target, but still, even with the door there, still takes half of his health bar. And you can see the darkness that you were talking about, Wolf. Lehen's really hates that minion as he gets the knock-up on to Zeka. Man, thrown around like a ragdoll, but does go golden in time. Chains of Corruption are there to try and make this one happen, but KINGEN gets into the backline, and Scout down so incredibly low, but he just goes gold and keeps himself alive. It's only Zeus left standing, and Nongshim are about to do the unthinkable. A 2-0 over Hanwha Life Esports here to put Baron within one game from Elder Group here for the LCK Cup.
The unthinkable, the biggest upset of the tournament here in week one. Nongshim dismantling HLE in game 2, and game 1 showcasing a completely different resilience.
Yeah, the fact that Scout was able to get the last second Zhonya's as well to keep himself alive.